Coming up, good news for COVID-19 vaccine. Biden is creating a coronavirus task force, and the creative way these coasters are made. All this coming up on NewsTeam Boulder.
From the Roser Atlas Center and the College of Media, Communication, and Information, this is NewsTeam Boulder.
Hi, and welcome to NewsTeam Boulder. I'm Chloe Henson, and we have a packed show for you today. Pfizer Pharmaceuticals shared some good news with the world recently. They've been developing a COVID-19 vaccine, and now it's almost ready. Pfizer studied around 43,000 people. Results show that their vaccine is 90% effective in preventing people from getting the virus. Of course, the vaccine still needs to be approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. It looks like we'll be waiting on this vaccine for a little while longer, Boulder. COVID-19 is responsible for the deaths of nearly 240,000 people in the U.S. 10 million Americans have tested positive for the virus, and Boulder is no exception. NewsTeam's Christina Robin is at the scene.
That's right, Chloe. Boulder County is in the red zone for hospital beds. The city is at an all-time high for coronavirus hospitalizations, including 86 diagnosed patients. Boulder County Public Health shows 208 new positive COVID-19 cases from Monday, pushing the city to over 7,000 victims of the virus. We've seen 99 deaths, and 14 of those happened just this month. The surge of over 10 million Americans infected with the virus is still on the rise. Boulder officials say group gatherings are the main source of the spread.
How can we mitigate those small gatherings? It's really difficult because we don't have control over what individuals do in their private life, but that is really where we need to focus.
The county moved to a level 3 safer at home order on Friday and will stay in this high-risk zone until COVID-19 case activity improves or worsens. Christina Robin, NewsTeam Boulder.
Just this morning, a Boulder resident was confronted with potentially aggravated assault just off campus. NewsTeam's Courtney Aiken is at the scene with more.
Yeah, Chloe, CUPD is currently investigating an incident from earlier this morning. Today, just after 7 a.m., they received a call about a potential aggravated assault right here in the parking lot near campus at the Marine Court apartment complex, also known as Graduate and Family Housing. What happened was two individuals got in a verbal dispute in the parking lot, which led to one of them eventually getting in his car. And when he backed up to leave, the other person thought that he was trying to hit him because he backed up onto the sidewalk. Now, since then, the car has been identified and was seen at a King Soopers a couple of hours later. And while the driver has been identified, nobody has seen him yet. Aside from incidents like this, CU Boulder Police Department spokesperson Scott Pribble has said that crime this year during the pandemic has gone down by a little bit, with the exception of bike theft, unfortunately.
For the most part, our more heinous or more violent crimes have actually dropped a little bit or stayed the same at the highest. So I think in general, things have been as much normal as possible when it comes to criminal activity. But again, we have seen obviously an increase in public health order violations, obviously, since that wasn't a thing before. And also we've seen an increase in bike theft this year.
Now, if you are interested in checking out this case and following it as it develops, feel free to check out CU Boulder Police Department's social media accounts, including their Twitter. Chloe?
The U.S. has surpassed 10 million positive COVID-19 cases since the pandemic began, with 1 million of these cases reported in the last 10 days. On Monday, the positive case count shot up with almost 120,000 in one day. Experts are predicting at this rate, we will reach a daily average of 200,000 cases. According to Johns Hopkins University, as of Tuesday morning, COVID-19 has caused 238,000 American deaths. Coming up after the break, Biden is working on his personal COVID-19 task force and how you can get your hands on some local handmade coasters. We'll be back.
Colorado is a wonderful state. We have sweeping plains, lively cities, and the Rocky Mountains. We also have the flu. Flu can be serious. Last year, nearly 5,000 Coloradoans were hospitalized with flu. That's the population of Breckenridge. The flu vaccine can keep you at work, in school, and out of the hospital. Flu vaccines save lives. Do yourself, your community, and all Coloradoans a favor and keep enjoying wonderful Colorado. Get your flu vaccine today.
Back now on NewsTeam Boulder. With COVID cases rising all across the country, including here in Colorado, President-elect Joe Biden is trying to prove he's taking the coronavirus seriously. Yesterday, Biden announced the first members of his transition team, and they're all a part of his coronavirus advisory board. The board has 12 public health officials, including Rick Bright, an immunologist who was a whistleblower early in the Trump coronavirus response. Former Obama Surgeon General Vivek Murthy will chair the task force. President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris say they'll get briefings from the advisory board regularly. More than 72 hours after the Associated Press called the election for Biden, and the president is still refusing to concede. He is demanding recounts based on allegations of voting fraud, and in the meantime, Trump's administration isn't releasing funds to the Biden transition, possibly delaying the president-elect's access to intelligence briefings. A Biden transition official says legal action is certainly a possibility. Republican lawmakers have mostly backed President Trump, who is not conceding the election to President-elect Biden. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says Trump is 100% within his rights to challenge the results of the election. So far, 4 senators have acknowledged Biden as the president-elect. They are Mitt Romney from Utah, Ben Sasse from Nebraska, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, and Susan Collins from Maine. President George W. Bush also released a statement where he says he called Biden and Harris, congratulating them on the election win. Coming up next, NewsTeam's Vinay Simlot will update us on this week's weather. Stay tuned.
It's getting harder to take care of Mom. I don't know where to turn.
My son has high needs and we need more help. Where do I start?
Every day I'm there for him, but sometimes I need time for me.
Caregiving can be tough. Call or visit coloradocaregiving.org to find resources in your community. Get the support you need. Your care may be super, but you're only human. Call or visit coloradocaregiving.org.
Welcome to News Team. Let's take a look at our forecast. Did you see the snow over the weekend? That was great news for the firefighters who are still working to contain these wildfires that are blowing in Colorado. So the Cameron Peak fire right now is 92% contained because of those snowstorms that we got over the weekend. And then the East Troublesome fire, we're looking at 47% containment. So that's good news for the firefighters right now. The temperatures are looking pretty good right now, 45 degrees in Denver, 40 closer to us in Boulder. And nationally, the temperatures in our area of the map are all in the 40s and below. But look at the East Coast. It just looks great. 70s and 80s. I wish I was over there. But in Florida, they're dealing with a lot right now. There's a lot of precipitation here because of Tropical Storm Eta, which is sitting just off the coast of Cuba right now. And then we're also looking at Tropical Storm Theta, which is the 29th named storm that we've seen at the Atlantic right now. So a very active storm season over there, and it's a new record for the most named storms that we've seen in the Atlantic in a year. So the hurricane forecast for Tropical Storm Eta, it's sitting right here. It's expected to move up towards the Gulf Coast of Florida over the weekend and make landfall there. It actually moved closer to Florida here and then moved back, and now it's headed up. Nationally, though, looking closer to where we are in Colorado, we've got high pressure sitting over top of us right now, which is great news. That'll bring us sunny skies for today and tomorrow. But take a look at this, this low pressure system up in the northwest of the U.S. That's headed our way, and that could bring us a chance for moisture. That means rain and snow over the weekends. We'll time it all out for you. Starting with today, it's going to be very windy. We're looking at 40 to 50 miles per hour in Boulder. Wind gusts could be that high, so keep your hats on. And then today, so windy, high of 41, low of 20 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 44 degrees and low of 22. And then here's your 4-day forecast. So Wednesday and Thursday in the 40s. Friday, we're getting up to the 50s, but clouds roll in and we could see a chance of snow on Saturday morning that'll turn into rain for the rest of the day. A small chance, but Chloe, I know you're not a big fan of the cold weather. We could be seeing a chance for a warm-up next week.
Well, I'm really looking forward to warmer weather. The cold has definitely got me down. Thanks, Vinay. Up next, what happens when trees fall in Boulder? We'll tell you after the break.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
If a tree falls in the middle of Boulder and no one's around to hear it, did it make a sound? That happened a lot over Labor Day weekend during an early snowstorm. CU is trying to repurpose the material from these storm-damaged trees, and the results are tree-rific. NewsTeam's Kylie Westhoff speaks for the trees.
Trees give peace to the souls of men. The words of American writer Nora Waln sum up the importance of trees in our lives. They bear witness to so much it might make you ask, if trees could talk, what would they say about our history? Over Labor Day weekend, a September snowstorm hit Boulder with 6 inches of snow. Many leafy limbs collapsed under the weight of the snow. And when they came down, it was almost like losing a friend. According to Barry Sparks, a landfill is far too undignified a fate for something with so much history.
You can count the rings, and the branch that sprouted goes back 50 years.
As manager of the CU Recycling Operations Center, his job is making campus sustainable. Barry works closely with Vince Aquino and the CU arborists to repurpose trees that collapse on campus.
All the green waste on campus, we work really hard to make sure that it goes into some other use.
Vince says the bulk of it becomes mulch. But with the heavy loss of trees in September,
and we had lost a lot of branches in that last storm over Labor Day,
Barry came up with a special idea for the trees.
These joint efforts from the university organizations make it so instead of turning these trees into this, we can turn them into this.
I saw the arborists were carting away some perfectly coaster-sized, cool chunks of juniper and ponderosa pine. And I thought,
So what does it take to go from wastewood to a one-of-a-kind coaster?
It is pretty cool.
A laser.
So you have a laser going back and forth at different power percentages and speed percentages.
That's where Byron Rudisil and the CU Idea Forge come in, with a high-tech laser engraver.
It's a pretty advanced machine, but this is like one of our more reliable machines in this space.
The coaster is more than just a keepsake.
Listen real carefully, you might be able to hear it quote some Shakespeare, because as you know, the Shakespeare Festival goes every summer at the Mary Rippon, and so this ponderosa pine has heard a lot of Shakespeare quotes.
It's a piece of CU history.
And for the CU football fans, 30 years ago was 1990, the only time CU won a national championship in football.
I guess if trees could get degrees, they would all be history majors.
It's got an indefinite lifespan. And it's just to know that tree was born and bred here on campus. I don't know, it's just kind of a special little memento.
What once stood tall on CU's campus is now a relic that can last a lifetime. Kylie Westhoff, NewsTeam Boulder.
The university is giving the coasters to CU-affiliated blood donors. Donors will get the free gift after donating blood at a Vitalant blood bank. You can redeem your CU coaster by donating before November 21st at the Boulder or Westminster blood bank locations. And that's the end of our show. From all of us at NewsTeam Boulder, have a great day.